Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Fredericksburg. We are situated on the ancestral homeland of the Rappahannock and Potawatomi tribes, and where enslaved people were forced to work on the land. We acknowledge that this land holds many stories, great history, and the blood of a people. Good morning. My name is Phoenix Bell Shelton Biggs. My pronouns are they and them. I'll be a worship associate this morning and also have the honor of serving as intern minister here at UUFF. Here at UUFF, we come together both in person and online as one community. We strive to nurture learning, inspire spiritual insights, create compassionate relationships, and lovingly transform our community and the world. If you are joining us as a guest or a first-time visitor, we are glad you are here. For those joining us here in the building, you are invited to leave your contact information at the welcome table in the foyer. And for those joining us online, you are invited to visit the worship portal on our website, uuffxbg.org, and fill out our virtual connection card. Whether here in person or online, filling out this information will allow our staff and ministers to get to know you, to invite you out for a cup of coffee, and to welcome you into this community. Everyone is also invited to fill out a card about a personal, significant joy or concern that you would like shared during the service. For those in person, you may pick up and leave your card at the pastoral care table located in the foyer. And for those joining us online, you may also visit our worship portal and fill out the pastoral care card found there. Those in person, your joys and concerns will be shared by our pastoral care associate a little bit later in the service. And those joining us online, yours will be shared in the following week's service. Please join us after the service for coffee, conversation, and some good food. And in the spirit of welcome, I invite us all to greet one another. Those joining us online, please welcome one another in the chat. It is so good to have all of you with us this morning.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. And thank you for coming in through the fog. Hopefully you'll find some enlightenment and maybe some endarkenment today. Because our service today, the title is Let There Be Darkness. We are in the month of mystery. That is our theme for this month. My name is Reverend Doug McCusker. I serve you all as the minister here at the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Fredericksburg, and I use he, his, him pronouns. Our invitation reading today comes from Rabbi Rami Shapir. Bless Adonai who spins day into dusk. With wisdom, watch the dawn gates open. With understanding, let time and seasons come and go. With awe, perceive the stars in lawful orbit. Morning dawns, evening darkens. Darkness and light yield one to the other. Yet each is distinguished and unique. Marvel at life. Strive to know its ways. Seek wisdom and truth, the gateway to life's mysteries. Wondrous indeed is the evening twilight. Come, let us worship together.
Join me in the words of our chalice lighting found on your screen. Universal mystery, guide us away from the desire to shine light in all the corners. Teach us to embrace the night, for without darkness we will never see the stars. On this third Sunday of Advent, we light the candle of hope, of peace. And today, the third candle we light of joy. In a world torn by war and violence and uncertainty, sometimes finding joy, hope, and peace may seem a fleeting task in the darkness, but rest assured, there is peace, there is hope, may there be joy.
something or making a boom, come on down. Anybody interested? I have to have at least 4 people, or this won't work. All right, come on up, come on up. Come on. I need at least 4. All right, all right, all right, have a seat, have a seat. I need somebody who will open the what do we call this? The Wonder Box, yes. Somebody who can open the Wonder Box for me. Who can do that? Who will do that for me? Go ahead. All right. What's in there? What is it? What is that thing? Anybody know what it is? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I've got one for everybody. We just need to make sure we get all the colors. So who wants to be red? You want to be red? You want to be orange or green? Green? Okay. And then I need somebody to be yellow. Mandolin, will you do it? Thank you. Oh, wait, got a yellow. Wait, do I have, oh, what am I missing? Orange. Orange, thank you. All right. All right, so what in the world are these things? What can you do with these? Yes. All right, you can pound them. What else can you do with them? Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, think about what else could you do with it? Swords. Yeah? Swords? Whack your siblings. Yeah. What if you made some silly decision and went, yeah, yeah, you can hit them on the ground. Lightsaber. Lightsaber. May the force be with you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Isn't that interesting that we have these things in our lives and we can do lots of different things with them? You know, you could be like a telescope, right? You could be a unicorn.
Guess what? I actually have a wheel, or a stethoscope that I can work
Yeah, a telescope. Those are cool. Yeah, so we have things in our lives that we can do lots of different things with. And we talked about how we could be swords, you know, something that might hurt somebody. But we can also take that very same thing and do something nice for somebody. Yeah, that's right. It could be like a really long beard. Kind of weird looking, but yeah, exactly right. We could make music. These things are called boom whackers. Boom whackers. Because when you whack something, it makes a noise. Oh, there we go, big noise. Or you can take them on the ground like this and just try that. Yes, yes. Yes, exactly. Guess what? If we cooperate, I bet we can play a song. You want to try? Yeah, exactly. You want to try? Yeah. Okay, all right. Let's go. When I point to you, you play yours. You can play it any way you want. You can play it on the ground, you can hit it on your head, you can hit it on your sand, whatever. All right? So here we go. When I point to you, you play, okay? No, just play once. Just play once, okay? Yeah! Yeah! So wouldn't that be fun? I'll bring these back out. I will bring these back out again, I promise you. But yeah, just remember, we can always take the things in our lives and do something good with them. Like make music together when we work together. So there you go. All right. Put them in the slots here for me if you would. And let's all sing our kids to class. All right, will you sing with me? You've got the light of love within you. Go on your way in peace. So let your light shine, the world awaits you. Go on your way in peace. You've got the light of love within you. Go on your way in peace. So let your light shine, the world awaits you. Go on your way in peace.
I invite you all now to enter a period of quiet for a guided meditation, if you will. Now, you may wish to adjust your position so that your spine is straight, your body relaxed, your hands resting gently in your lap. You will probably want to close your eyes and shut out all the distractions of the light. So let's take a few deep, slow breaths and begin. With vision muted, notice what your other senses are telling you. Release any areas of tension that you may notice. Soften the neck, your swallowing muscles. Release any tension that you feel in your abdomen. Imagine the inner organs in your belly letting go of tension. Soften your eyes. Let them feel warm and relaxed. Inhale and exhale. Now imagine that you and your dearest friends have decided to go for a walk at night. Everyone, including you, are bundled up with coats and gloves to ward off the winter cold. Your face is cold, flush with the bite of a gentle wind. The air smells like it might snow. Everything is quiet and calm. You come upon a grassy clearing ringed with majestic trees that have all shed their leaves. They stand as silhouettes of darkness against a dark gray sky. You and your friends mimic the trees by spreading out and forming a circle. One by one, you all turn off your lights until the only light left is from the moon and the stars. Everyone is silent. Standing among your friends, comforted by their presence, you spread out your legs, feeling strong and sturdy. With your eyes closed, you reach your arms out, welcoming the brilliant energy of the cosmos. Now imagine your body and mind are filled with darkness and silence, the void of the universe. Take comfort in the stillness, the restfulness of this space with you. Just rest in this inner darkness, knowing that you are safe in this moment. You can simply be. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in breathe out. Continue to be with your breath and a still, quiet mood as you rest a while longer in the darkness. With humility and awe and gratitude for all the powers of darkness within yourself. Slowly now, come back to this room, to these friends who have accompanied you on this journey. Take one last cleansing breath and open your eyes. May the tranquility of your inner darkness serve as a calming presence as you turn toward the light. Welcome back.
Our reading this morning is titled Light and Dark and Light, and it is by Jackie James. Blackmail, blacklist, black mark, Black Monday, black mood, black-hearted, black plague, black mass, black market. Good guys wear white, bad guys wear black. We feel black cats and dark continent, but it's okay to tell a white lie. Lily white hands are covered. It's great and pure as the driven snow. Angels and brides wear white. Devil's food cake is chocolate. Angel's food cake is white. We shape language, and we are shaped by it, by our culture. While esteemed, it is heavenly sunlight, clean, pure, immaculate, innocent, and beautiful. At the same time, black is evil, wicked, gloomy, depressing, angry, sullen. Ascribing negative and positive values to black and white enhances the institutionalism of racism. Let us acknowledge the negative connotations of whiteness. White things can be soft, valuable, pallid, ashen. Light things blinding, bleaching, evading. Corrosively, we must acknowledge that darkness has redemptive characters, that in darkness there is power and beauty, that dark nurtured and protected for us our both. Welcome darkness. Do not be afraid of it or deny it. Darkness brings relief from the blinding sun and the scalding heat, from the exhausting labor. Night signals permission to rest, to be with our loved ones, to conceive new life, to search our hearts, to remember our dreams. The dark of winter time, of hibernation, seeds grow in the dark, fertile earth. The world black and dark don't need to be destroyed or ignored, only balanced and reclaimed in their wholeness. The worlds white and light don't need to be destroyed or ignored, only balanced and reclaimed in their wholeness. Imagine a world that only had light or dark. We need both, dark and light, light and dark.
In the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth was a formless void, and darkness covered the face of the deep, while a wind from God swept over the face of the waters. Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw that the light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. According to this Judaic creation myth, the known world started when light emerged from darkness. They were separated, and then one gave way to the other in a cycle that marked the beginning of time. What could be more basic and foundational than the interplay of light and dark? The ancient storytellers, they knew nothing about the Big Bang or the black holes, but they certainly understood that even though form comes from the void and order emerges from chaos, darkness remains to spawn new life. Indeed, our very own lives mirror this primordial pulse. For we were once part of the chaotic void, and to it we shall return. Winter solstice will arrive in a few days. This is the day when darkness is at its peak. It is a deeply spiritual time that earth-based religions set aside for reflection, intention, and renewal. It is a time to enjoy the stillness, embrace the night, and absorb the energy of the transition from dark to light. So if darkness is so fundamental to life, why do we fear, shun, and disparage it like something to escape from? In our reading, Jackie James gave us numerous examples with rich imagery of how we describe light and dark in our language and our cultural symbols. Assigning negative and positive values to light and dark reinforces racism, excessive energy use, and fear of the unknown. It is so pervasive that we don't even think about it. But subconsciously, we feel safer around light. And part of the reason is because humans' eyes are adapted to respond to the light of the sun. We are diurnal creatures as opposed to nocturnal. We experience natural biological rhythms that are synchronized for greater activity during the sunlight hours. As late as 150 years ago, no matter where you went, even in the cities, if you were out at night, you had to bring your own light with you, kind of like a BYOL. Lighting in homes was much more localized around candles and fireplaces. But things are quite different now. We have essentially flipped the equation. Dark areas have become the exception and the places where most people don't want to go. Because we can, we have filled the night with light. And in the process, we have scattered light all over the place without even thinking of the consequences to ourselves or to other inhabitants on this planet. We have essentially polluted the night sky with wasteful light that is directed up rather than down. Just like climate change, light pollution disrupts natural patterns affecting migration, feeding, health, and reproduction. I was in Florida once during a week when thousands of sea turtle eggs hatched along the beaches. All the hotels were banned from shining their lights in the direction of the ocean. They even closed the outside bars at night. This is because we now understand that the little baby hatchlings use the moon and the starlight to direct themselves toward the ocean. They only have a certain amount of time to make it from the beach to the safety of the water. And if man-made lights overpower the celestial bodies, the baby turtles head toward the land and they perish. But what about us? Do we need to see the stars anymore? In almost all large cities around the world, the night sky has been replaced by an eerie orange glow. It's like a huge dome has been placed over us, blocking our views of the cosmos. We have become so over-attached to light that in the process we run the risk of blinding ourselves to the mysteries of the unknown. Every time I get a chance to spend the night somewhere away from city lights, I get completely mesmerized by the multitude of stars that are out there. It's a view that I'm not used to seeing, and it always takes my breath away. That is what our ancestors saw when they walked out of their tents and their caves. Many Native American and African traditions believe that the stars represent their ancestors who are watching over them, guiding them in spirit. These beliefs are natural, especially when you gaze up at a star-filled sky and you see shooting stars and the Milky Way actually looking like milk. When you see the immensity of the cosmos for yourself, even with the naked eye, and when you take it all in with your entire being, it changes your perspective about the little things that we mull over as if they're the most important things in the world. We need to be constantly reminded that we are part of an interconnected cosmos. That we are made up of the same particles that are burning in every one of those pinpricks of light above us. But without darkness, we don't see the stars. We lose that unbelievable feeling of universal connection. We forget why our ancestors wrote mythology and legends about gods and goddesses who created this vastness and maintained the life force of which we are all a part. Darkness reminds us that maybe, just maybe, we are not alone in the universe. In an ironic way, darkness reminds us that it's not all about us. 2 years ago, when I was on sabbatical, I took a course on rewilding that taught us some of the ancient skills of survival that our ancestors practiced in their everyday lives. The class met for a week-long camping trip in the Berkshire Mountains of eastern New York. One of the skills that we practiced was navigating by moonlight and the stars. It had been raining for 3 solid days, so on the night when the rain clouds dispersed, we set out on a twilight hike up to a ridge overlooking a huge valley. The sky was filled with stars, and the moon was almost full. But still, it was tricky because we were in the forest, and the trees still had a canopy of leaves. We kept our flashlights in our backpacks, and we used natural light to guide us. At first, it was dark, especially in the lower elevations. The rock formations produced some cool and eerie shapes and shadows. The trail was tough to follow, and we had to frequently stop and check our bearings. It took us a while to adjust our eyes to the darkness. But eventually, we were able to see in the dark. Just the slightest contrast was enough to discern shapes. When we got above the tree line, the moon and the stars gave us enough light to manage the tricky footing at the summit. I noticed that most of us were silent. If we did talk, it was barely louder than a whisper. And no one told us to do that. It just seemed to be the reverent thing to do, surrounded by so much awe and mystery. We made camp, but no one was in a hurry to make a fire. We wanted to stay in the darkness as long as we could. And it reminded me of a Wendell Berry poem. To go in the dark with a light is to know the light. To know the dark, go dark. Go without sight. And find that the dark, too, blooms and sings and is traveled by dark feet and dark wings. Barry is telling us that to know the dark, we must leave our light behind and go without sight. He is calling us to experience the unknown with our entire being, rather than relying on our preconceived uncertainties, or rather preconceived certainties. Darkness in and of itself is simply the absence of light. When we can't see in advance what we are getting into, we must face our fears of sudden surprises and unexpected revelations. It is the lack of control and the need to really bear down and focus which makes us uncomfortable about darkness. I love that line in the poem that says that if we go dark, we find that the dark too blooms and sings. When we allow ourselves to accept darkness, to rest within its cooling shadows, we open ourselves to the font of inspiration, creativity, and resilience deep within all of us. At times, we must also go to the dark places of our soul and sit with our fears and our grief to fully engage life with all its mysteries and wonder. Carl Jung wrote, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." By making the darkness conscious. And Barbara Brown Taylor calls this endarkenment instead of enlightenment. She says the best thing to do when fear has a hold of us is to befriend someone who lives in real and constant fear. The best thing to do when you are flattened by despair is to spend time in a community where despair is their daily bread. After years of being taught that the way to deal with painful emotions is to get rid of them, it can take a lot of unlearning to sit with them and learn from them instead. Being around others and learning how to embrace sorrow can be difficult for many people. And it can run counter to your instincts. And even if we have a kindred community like this to help bear our grief, it is inevitable that we will find ourselves alone with our sorrows. Francis Weller, in the book The Wild Edges of Sorrow, writes that the rupture that occurs with significant loss often precipitates a separation from the ordinary world. The heart shuns the garish display of our neon, always-on society. seeking instead places of solitude and quietude. The soul longs for it. In fact, it requires the spaciousness that comes through silence and solitude to simply catch its breath. Silence, like darkness, is hard to come by, but mind and spirit need it for sustenance. For the last year, I have incorporated into my morning meditation an acknowledgement of the four directions as a guiding principle for navigating the vicissitudes of life. I briefly honor the east for bringing sunlight and hope for new beginnings. I honor the south for teaching me to act and create without attachments to results. I honor the west for showing me how to let go and to rest as it does at sundown. And I close the circle with gratitude to the north for darkness, stillness, and the lesson of surrender. Going to sleep every night is a practice of surrender. I turn off the lights, close my eyes, and surrender my body beyond my conscious control. I lay still and I trust the darkness. I consider it daily training for accepting my inevitable death. Deep sleep is an essential ingredient for health. It is a time of renewal and repair at the cellular level. Our mind, our body, even our spirit are like roots below the soil that must incubate in solitude and in darkness. And in this way, the dark gives us new life and continues the cycles of our life. So let there be darkness. Because if you overpower the world with your own light through certainty and self-absorption, you run the risk of missing the dark feet and the dark wings of new discoveries. Finding the right balance of light and dark and venturing into the shadows of ambiguity and sorrow enables us to focus inward and outward, where our interconnections with life abound. May we never lose our ability to be awed and amazed by the hidden beauty in the darkness around us. And may we learn to appreciate the intrinsic value of both light and darkness in our lives and in the lives of others. Amen, Ashe, and blessed be. What is your relationship with darkness? Perhaps one or two of you may want to share. Is it scary? Is it peaceful? Is it just something that you enter into but you're not crazy about it? Who would like to share their feelings about darkness? I have one in the back. Don't worry, you won't be able to be on camera. Oh, you can come out here. There you are.
So I'm an art teacher, and the thing that I push students to do the most is to make things darker. There's a Japanese concept of notan, which is the balance of light and dark. And I had a student who asked me, how do I make my lightsaber look like it's glowing? I put the blue, and it just doesn't look like anything. It's because you have to make the darkness around it to bring that contrast out. White paper, white stone, blank slates, blank canvas. All of our meaning making is created by putting shadows and dark marks on the material we're working with. So a lot of our manufactured concepts, our meaning, most what we read, we look at, starts by putting that darkness onto the light. So I think it's interesting.
Cool.
That's nice. I often think of the fireplace or a campfire, or even a candle, and being kind of embraced by the darkness. I'm a relative of Daniel Boone, and I think when I was a child, I think about being in the forest or being, living in those kind of conditions, and I even think more about Abraham Lincoln, about how he spent many of his hours reading in front of the fireplace and a candle, and having a certain embracing quality of the darkness around you.
Thank you. For whom here is winter your favorite month? Ah. You care to share why, or what you like about it? What do you like about it?
Because I just love the darkness. I do.
Oh, because of the dark.
I do, yes, yes.
What about the cold?
I don't mind the cold because it's easy to get warm.
I think it was David in their newsletter article that's due to come out. I'm gonna jump it. Says that there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad gear.
One of my favorite concepts in science is the fact that the human eye can only see certain colors, and we can only see about 10% of what there is. And to that, even in darkness, there is so much we can't see because we can't perceive it. But that doesn't mean it's not there in the darkness.
Yes, tell the owl that, right? Is there anything in the service today that sparked an old memory that one of you would like to share? One that you haven't thought of in a long time?
So when I was a kid in my teens, I would go walking in the dark a lot, and it was the most comfortable thing in the world. And it's something that as an adult you kind of have to work to get back towards because you've spent too many decades, knowing there's coyotes in your front yard. So it hits a little different when you're clueless and 13 and just walking at night and, on the phone with your friend, clueless or whatever, and you can enjoy those things without fear. But as an adult, you really have to create a scenario where you're not afraid to be nabbed in the Target parking lot or whatever. And you have to make sure you have a safe space to enjoy those dark places, but you still kind of need that in your life. So there are times that you remember how comforting the darkness is, and it's sometimes hard to get back to.
Oh, you sparked a memory in me. I'll answer my own question. I remember sneaking out at night, and everything was so quiet. Everybody was asleep. And me and my friends, we felt like we owned the world.
I just remember the time when I was in my early 20s. I worked at Denny's late night, and just remember being so, not necessarily quiet, but peaceful.
Thank you, everyone. Let there be darkness.
During our offertory, you are invited to come forward and silently place a pebble into the bowl of water for any joys or concerns you are holding in your heart. When you give to UUFF, you help us nurture learning, inspire spiritual insights, and lovingly transform our community and the world. For those gathered here in person, greeters will be coming around with baskets for in-person donations. And for those joining us online, you may give and the information that has appeared on your screen by going to our website, uuffxbg.org/giving. and all may also give via text at the number on your screen. This week is also a Share the Plate Sunday. Our Share the Plate partner this Sunday is the UUFF Community Dinners. Every fourth Monday, volunteers from the fellowship cook and serve a meal for people who would not otherwise be able to afford a hot dinner. We do this at St. James Episcopal Church downtown. Donations to the Community Dinners funds allows us to purchase food supplies for dinners that we provide. And a big thanks to all the volunteers for the great work they are doing serving our community. Our offertory will now be received.
Fireplace is burning bright, shining on me. I see the presents underneath the good old Christmas tree. And I'll wait all night till Santa comes to wake me from my dreams. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me. I see the children play outside like angels in the snow, while Mom and Daddy share a kiss under the mistletoe. And we'll cherish all these simple things wherever we may be. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me. I've got this Christmas song in my heart. I've got the candles glowing in the dark. I'm hanging all the stockings by the Christmas tree. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me. I listen for the thought of reindeer walking on the roof. As I fall asleep to lullabies, the morning's coming soon. The only gift I'll ever need is the joy of family. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me. I've got this Christmas song in my heart. I've got the candles glowing in the dark. And then for years to come, we'll always know one thing. That's the love that Christmas can bring. Oh, why? 'Cause that's Christmas to me.
May all that has been shared here and freely given help us to grow in generosity and care for the world of which we are a part.
Good morning. My name is Bill Brooks. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm a member of the pastoral care team.
He hasn't.
I'm still a member of the pastoral care team. Here at the UUF, we strive to be a deeply caring congregation, community, and as such, we invite those who are present and those that are online to share their personal joys and concerns, to allow us to hold them in our hearts. We have a couple of concerns this morning. The first is from Jackie. Please keep Christina Kelly in your thoughts today. She is a family friend that is currently hospitalized for complications with shingles and has asked for our prayers. Tim Travis, a longtime member of the UU and leader of the discussion group, died on 11 December. He had been living in California for about a decade, but continued to participate with the discussion group online. Last week he was helping a friend building a home and fell from the roof. He died of complications several days later. His thoughtful presence will be missed. Shifting to joys, Marcia says her greatest joy in 2 Christmases has been to finally get all the children in a Santa photo. And Lillian shares a joy. She is starting her own art business and now will be able to sell her artwork. And Randy has a joy. We had a painting party in the nursery this week. You're invited to take a look at it. I did this morning. It's lovely. Let Kit and Madeline know if you want to join the next painting party or work in the what do I want to say, in the nursery. These are the spoken concerns and joys we have today. Let's take a few moments to quietly be present with them and with those that may have remained unspoken.
A few announcements of upcoming events. Tonight, here, there will be a winter solstice ritual for anyone who would like to come and to honor and enter the winter solstice in a few days. There will be 2 Christmas Eve services this year because Christmas Eve falls on a Sunday. So there will be one in the morning during our regular time at 10:30 a.m., and that will be led by Phoenix. And the title is The Mystery of Christmas and Christian Mysticism. And then in the evening, there will be an evening candlelight service at 7:30, led by our UUFF staff. And it is called A Place for All Babies. So please plan to come to one or both on that evening, on that day. Our closing words are that poem from Wendell Berry. To go in the dark with a light is to know the light. To know the dark, go dark. Go without sight, and find that the dark too blooms and sings and is traveled by dark feet and dark wings.
Our closing hymn is number 55 in the Lord's hymnal. You take that out is standing, and if you would honor us by making a joyful noise with us, number 55, The Dark of Winter. Dark of winter, soft and still, your quiet calm surrounds me. Let my thoughts go where they will, ease my mind profoundly, and then thy soul will sing a song, a blessed song of love eternal, gentle darkness, soft and still, bring your quiet to me. Darkness soothe my weary eyes, that I may see more clearly. When my heart with sorrow cries, comfort and caress me, and then thy soul may hear a voice, the still small voice of love eternal. Darkness when my fears arise, let your peace flow through me.
Join me. Join me in the words of our childish extinguishing found on your screen. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of love and service. May it be a catalyst for spiritual growth and social justice as we carry it outside these walls to the world we live in until we are together again. Go in peace, serve the world, return again in love.